with me and I will not change. On the hilltop, safe from the rain. I know it's only one reason why these bitches will not phase me. Switched it up, no, I will not chase it. No, I'm one-on-one.
Podcast. Today I have the great pleasure of having two of my brothers with me. I have Showtime the God, and I have my brother G.
All right.
Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. I know y'all have very your flowers.
Politically correct. I get it.
Everybody's busy, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
And so today on my podcast, we will be speaking about the fatherhood journey. Okay. And this is where real men share their real stories about moments, challenges, lessons, and victories that they have shaped into their fatherhood, along their journey.
Okay.
Through honest conversation, we explore what it means to lead, love, sacrifice, and leave a lasting legacy, because that's the whole point, right? Whether you're a father, an aspiring father, or someone impacted by one, this is a space where wisdom is shared, growth is celebrated, and the power of fatherhood is honored. So let's begin the journey.
All right, so right now we're at the farm, Daddy Family's farm. Our first compound, first of many. Over here is the nursery. If you come to the side over here, you'll be able to see some chicks. We got multiple gardens. We got one here, garden on this side.
Right.
We'll show you the big garden in a minute. That's the Doberman.
Bro, be talking about I'm modest, but he being modest right now. First of all, you see all this out here? This all started from Boring Road.
Right.
It's Boring Road, as far as I'm concerned.
A vision.
Yeah,
One vision,
bro. Like,
one vision, and we get it
you
done.
start farming in a 3x3 little wooden box.
Right, 4x4.
Whatever.
But bro was 100% right.
Yeah,
and you
man.
right.
It's a long road, long time coming.
I probably could have added a lot more words than I utilized real quick. Don't be alarmed. You at the farm. There's dogs everywhere. That's the Doberman kennel. Okay, on trees. We got animals everywhere. Put it like that. Dogs everywhere.
For sure.
Protect the perimeter of the farm animals. We're gonna walk this way. Right now, we are actually looking at what is called the orchard. That hole was dug, probably 10 men, maybe 7. I like 7. 7 men and shovels. Is actually a hole that's growing back, because I'm not done. I'll make that a pond for the ducks in the orchard area. Plums, peaches, pears, grapevine, blueberries, figs, more peaches, apples, watermelon. So these are the goats. That's what's going on. So Lindsay, Melquan, Kiki, Bella, Bambi, Lil Kim, Gorgeous. Reese, this is Gorgeous right here, Reese. That's Gorgeous. And this open area here is where the functions take place. So you see the porta pots. They here got porta pots. We got a couple of those out here. We got portable sinks. We use this whole back area, of course. It's not manicured like it should be. So this is
focused on your crop stuff.
Yeah, right. Right now we're coming out of spring, so it's heavy into gardening. So we're gonna go to the big garden in a second. As you see, dogs everywhere. Again, I don't like intruders of any kind, whether it's wild foxes or individual that shouldn't be here. This area here is usually, if we're throwing an event, there's a giant obstacle course water slide that we have here, big fun. Other than that, this is the bag you see, the tire, we flipping, we running around. This is called a fitness corner. Fitness corner on the farm, all right? Back through the woods is the trail, pony rides, dirt bike rides. That's all through there. So all of this, as far as the eye can see, is all part of the farm. Of course, you can't see much because the trees is there, so let's keep walking. Right here will be a dwarf peach tree.
Oh.
Now, you see that?
Oh, nice.
See the peaches?
Yeah.
You see them?
Yeah.
Plenty of them. That's what we doing.
Those things growing nice.
All right. Figs. You see the ducks. And these are blueberries. So let me show you.
Keep the fence around them so the ducks don't eat it.
Correct. So like this.
Man, he got them going.
Blueberry.
Straight berries. The G really going.
Blueberry. Yes, you can eat it.
Yeah, it's ready. Organic.
I'm learning to stop using the organic word and just say all natural. Because
All
organic
natural.
now is sold in a bag.
Oh,
All
is it?
natural is what we're
Wow.
doing.
Actually, the land.
Right. So everything, they come with names for
Those are
most.
good
They
too.
come with names for most things to sell it.
I think one of the craziest things is like you being the first generation doing this, like that you know of. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Coming from the city and being down here for a minute.
Background, Bronx,
It's like
Bronx, USA.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's no trees. Grew up with no trees. Now I got all the trees.
All the trees.
But let me tell you this: even in the Bronx,
Right.
your man was a wild one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He
would
been
get
out
all-
in the yards.
He would get all the snakes out the lots, the crickets,
Right.
He always had
the
animals.
lightning bugs. Yeah, yo, we had crickets in our house.
G probably would have been a veterinarian. Or
No, I was
something.
going for that until I realized the schooling. So don't be like me, kids. I thought it would be difficult, but then still you could be like me and be better, because still without school, look where
what
we
you
at.
have done exactly.
Ducks,
God's
birds.
gifts is God's gift.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
and everyone don't learn the same way. So that's really what it is. For me to sit down and try to learn for a long period of time only makes things complicated in my brain. Where me actively hands-on, you see it? I put the seeds down, I grew the tree, I got berries, that works for me. The turkey's here, it's called the turkey strut. Built that as well.
And they was little,
From
they looked
chicks.
like little chickens at one time.
Little chicks. Right here is, so what we're looking at here is tomatoes. Let me see if you get a picture.
You can see them tomatoes.
They grown, right? Tomatoes, tomato, tomato, tomato. All right here, peppers. Now I gotta do some manicuring because it shouldn't look like this. These are all peppers. Every variety of pepper there is in the ground. You see the water bottles underneath? That's me creating an irrigational system on my own. Roots are further than the limbs.
Right.
And instead of watering up top, you need to water deep. So I fill up the bucket, the water gallons, holes in the bottom. It goes low to where the roots are and everything gets watered, no problem. All right, cayenne. Right here, what you looking at? Squash. Come over here. You see underneath? All grapes. See that? Grapevine. You heard? All grapes. You see that? Grapes. 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 All grapes. With the seeds, right? That's what we need. Everything 100% natural. This is actually, look at it, let me see if you know. Look at it one time. Can you recognize what that is? It's the #1 plant that strip metals out of the body.
Rosemary?
Cilantro.
Cilantro.
All right, seeing it fresh. Come up this way. Ooh. Come this way. All right, so we got some more stuff. Again, like I said, cucumbers, 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 more peppers. These look like green peppers, more green peppers, like over there, peppers. It should be beans and okra growing over here. We got to figure it out. These is beans. Those are sunflowers again. They're not in full blossom yet. You know, being that we still early June, by the end of July, late June, we'll see some activity. That's oregano. Those is oregano. These are actually okra plants. They just taking forever to grow. Between all of these is marigolds. And marigolds, it's almost like companion planting. The bugs that like to tear up your garden
In a motherfucking minute.
and allow your vegetables or fruit to grow. Yeah, that's about it. We didn't see the gun range. We didn't walk the trail. Now, those you hear there, those are called guineas. They're called guinea fowl, which is birds that come from Africa. The cartoon, The Road Runner, they mimic them birds. They walk for 2 miles out either way, all day eating bugs. Bugs, preferably ticks, snakes, baby rats, baby snakes.
My first question I want to ask, now this is early fatherhood, if you will, okay? Not the seasoned men and fathers you are now, but early fatherhood. What was the first reaction when you found out that you were going to be a father?
All right, bro, you go first. I got to think about this early. I got to think.
Okay.
First reaction.
I moved here. I was about 20 years old with my high school girlfriend, and she got pregnant maybe a year after we lived here. Actually, right off of Clifton Springs. Is that Clifton Springs Road?
Bro, yeah, Decatur.
Yep, he's right in Decatur. We lived over there in an apartment called the Thornberry. When I found out I was gonna be a dad, for me, I was already told when I was young that I couldn't have kids because of an injury I had. When I was like 8 years old, we used to climb trees in my neighborhood, be climbing trees and all that. And I fell out of a tree. We used to get them muscadines.
Yeah.
And I fell out of a tree. Yeah. We used to go behind the abandoned buildings, and they had muscadine trees, and we'd be eating them. Our faces be itching and all. The muscadines. I don't know, maybe stuff on them or whatever.
Shit. Yeah, got the shit.
So
stuff.
I fell out the tree, and I fell on my bottom. Like I came out the tree from high, and I hit the floor like this. I went home. You know, back in the days, they didn't take you to the hospital. They tell you go to bed.
Right.
You know, which is the wrong thing to do. But I went to sleep, and I had problems. I had problems like my urinary tract ever since then. So when I was like 17, I went to the doctor, and they was like, "Yo, you got some issues, restrictions, and all that. You might not never be able to have children."
Wow.
So I always thought that when I was growing up, and then I moved out here, and lo and behold, she got pregnant. And it was the best. Yeah, it was the best feeling ever. Like I remember I can still see the first day I ever seen him. Like, and my face was like, that's when I really knew what love was. Like I used to think I was in love with my little girlfriends and all that.
Right.
But when I seen my child the first time, that's when I really fell in love for the first time.
Right. And then for you, thinking previously that you couldn't even have kids, so this is like a miracle. And it's like my first born.
I got my I got this tatted on me. You know who drew that? Punch. Because I was hanging around these dudes that I met from Brooklyn. I was a supervisor. I was like 21, 22 years old, and when she was in the hospital about to have a baby, I went to this place in Clarkston and got the tattoo. And I went up there and I passed out cigars to everybody in the hospital and all that. I was super excited.
Nice. Sure. What about you,
guys?
Take me
some time to think about it. All right, so back then, at first, I was like, damn, I gotta grow the fuck up. Because of the traumas I faced as a young lad myself, I knew I could not do that to my child.
Right.
So it was really like a damn, but then excited at the same time. You got to grow up.
Right.
Straight up.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was super active into, concrete jungle. So for me, it was like time to grow up. That was it for me. I do remember that.
So there was some fears there, some uncertainty.
I guess we'll say fear. I guess we will say fear. A little fear, but more of this is it. Like I cannot be the person that I did not have in my life.
Correct, but how did that translate for you in your manhood, not having, because sometimes, right, you may not have like the presence of a father, but you may have positive role models, right? So us growing up in the urban communities that we grew up in during the very bad, crack epidemic, all of the different things like that, the atmosphere that we grew up in, I can't really say that we had a lot of positive role models, right?
That's what I was about to say.
And so how did you figure out how you were going to shape?
So again, for me, it was, I got to do everything I need to do not to be the person inflicting the trauma that was inflicted on me. Right?
Got it.
So the absence of having a father and my mother, of course, doing what she could do, which was all she can do because that's all she knew.
Right.
Right. And again, you don't understand that. That's me speaking now.
Right.
At the time, I look at it as no one loves me.
Right.
I'm not being loved. I'm not even being heard.
Right.
And when kids to hear what I got to say, it's shut up, do what I say.
Right.
Right? So now all of those things is what shaped me to be the great father. The absences of my father, not showing up, not being there, the lack of my mother saying, hey, son, I love you. I'm going to give you some time on this. Or, here's the better way to do this, that, or the third. Now, when I have children, I give them the opportunity to speak.
Right.
We have what I call healthy debate.
Right.
Which to the outside looking in sometimes looks a little disrespectful because how dare you go back and forth with me and I'm the one taking care of you. So for me, the absence of the father and me feeling as if I didn't have my mother there to say, son, I love you on any occasion or proud of me of anything, say, I'm going to be a total opposite of that and become great for my kids.
So basically, you use the lack thereof, whatever that lack was, the lack of love, the lack of role model, to shape who you became as a father. And that just speaks again to the tenacity, right? And the resilience that a lot of men have, particularly Black men, right? Because we're Black. I don't know a lot of other races. Not that they don't matter, but I'm speaking specifically for Black men. And I don't think that it's highlighted enough in our communities how great Black fathers are, number one, and that they're needed. That should have been number one, that they're needed, and how great they are, number two, because I think this narrative gets spent a lot of times that fathers are absent and fathers don't do this and fathers don't do that. And although I'm a female, I think moms are great, but let's just be honest, all moms aren't great either, just like all dads aren't. So I think that we have to have these kind of honest conversations, right, to debunk a lot of the myths, because again, I have been blessed as a Black woman to have great men like you in my life who, are also father figures to my children. So that's really dope.
But I know for me, I just wanted to be there. Like, you know what I mean? I felt like a lot of times, even when I was growing up, in my household, my grandmother always talked about the importance of being there. Like, even if we struggling, we gonna struggle together.
Right.
Like, I never wanted to be the type of father that's not gonna be around because I ain't got no money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like when you don't have money is when you're supposed to be around.
Absolutely.
You're supposed to show them how to maneuver when things are hard.
Correct.
So you build this relationship with your kids where it becomes about finances and we going out here and we doing all this. And then when you fall on hard times, they look down on you. Like, I feel like it's important to be there with your kids and let them see you go through every phase of life. You know what I'm saying? Because that is what helps them. You know what I mean? Like, because things ain't always good. And my grandmother never really sugarcoated nothing with me. We had hard Christmases. We had great Christmases.
Right.
My birthday, because it fell in January, I really didn't get the best Christmas all the time because I had to wait. You know what I'm saying?
It was your birthday.
Yeah, but everything was being told to us. Like, we was like, look, we going to eat. We having cake for dinner today. Like, right? But we would love it. Like, this is what we going to do. But as a unit, and then a week later, we having pot roast. Like, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but that taught me to be resilient. So I try to pass to my kids, and whether I did a good job or not, because sometimes they miss the point. But it's like when things are hard, that doesn't mean that things are not good.
Right.
It's a better day. You got to keep pushing. Like the strength is in the keep pushing. And as men, this is something that I say that women do it, but as men, it's just that it's looked at differently when it comes to us. It's like you're supposed to always have. Like we can't. It's like, and I'm not going to say every woman treat a man like that, but it just seemed like when you don't have, your value change in this society, and that's something that it bothers me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as it should. It bothers me too, and I know from my husband since passed away, but he was more valuable in the home. That was something that money couldn't buy. Being the coach for our son's football team. Making sure that he was at the games, whether he was feeling well or not. When he had medical conditions, coming from dialysis week, going out on the field and coaching. Those moments, you can't put a price tag on them. They're invaluable. And I think that sometimes probably those women and their experiences, because they're speaking from an unhealed place, right? and we may have all been there, that they can't really see the silver lining.
Yeah.
You know, me being able to go to work, being the income earner when his health declined, but knowing I had peace that my kids were safe, they weren't being abused, they were going to eat, they were going to get their showers, their homework was going to be looked over. That's more than what I could ask for.
Absolutely.
You know, and so I think that that's something else that we all, like as a community, have to know. It doesn't make a person invaluable because they're not this six-figure income earner.
Yeah.
Right. The hardest work comes with the one that you don't get paid for.
That's right.
And that's showing up as a father every day.
That's right.
In whatever capacity that you can. Being a father, whether you have $5 or $5,000, right?
That's right.
Being a dad, whether you riding a hoopty or you got the CO parked outside, right? You know, because you can't pick and choose when you're going to be a parent, whether you're up and down, sad, you know, frustrated, have a lot of things going on. You still have to be a dad, and I think that should be highlighted too, because you guys are needed.
Yeah, like I'm gonna fast forward to a quick story that really touches on this, and that's why I say, like, I grew up, I got married, and I wound up having some, I don't like to say stepchildren, but I wound up having some children from my now new wife. This is from our previous relationship. Now, my stepson, he comes home, he gets robbed by gunpoint, pistol whipped in the head, right? He runs in the house. It was nothing his mother could say to him that was gonna make him accept that, or make him understand what happened or whatever. The fact that I was there and it was like, what we on? Okay, this what we on. And I showed him, all right, if you wanna move around and do something, this is how you do that.
Right.
If you want to let it slide, that doesn't make you a chump.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these are all different things. If we wound up sitting in the car talking for 4 hours until the wee hours of the night, he was in high school. But I seen that how his parent wasn't there, and if there was no male there, I don't know what that would have did to him. You know what I'm saying? Because his mom was being vigilant like a mother would be, but he was on some like, get out, like, mom, go in the house, like, because he know that he don't want to subject his mother to that.
Correct.
And it was like, that was a real traumatic situation. I'll never forget that, because I know that was a shaping moment for both of us, where he looked at me in a different light after that day, because it wasn't just about going to the movies and playing. It was like serious issues. And these are the things where I say fathers are important. It's like, he just wanted somebody to talk to him and tell him, like, okay, this is what happened to you. This happened, son. I had to break it down to him about things that happened when I was back home and had to deal with certain situations. And I learned, look, man, you gotta have one headphone on, 2 headphones. You out here, you food out here.
Right.
Like, so what did you do that made you get picked? And I always tell my kids, victims are picked. They try to make it seem like, oh, you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. But people that are trying to do something to anyone is looking for the one that's going to be the easiest one.
The easiest target.
You see me? So that I just wanted to say that, because that was like one of them shaping moments with my son. If I wasn't there, I don't think he would have got the picture from his mom. Like, he wasn't really trying to hear what she said.
Because our perspective is different. You know, not right or wrong, just different.
Yeah.
And that's what me and my girlfriend speak about a lot, is that being honest and realistic with ourselves. I don't care how great of a mother you are. You cannot teach a male how to be a man. We're not men.
Yeah.
You know, yes, we could teach our sons to be nurturing. We could teach them to have compassion, empathy, all those different emotional, intelligent things.
Yeah.
But we can't teach male children how to grow up to be men. And so, yeah, it's important, whether it's a bonus kid, step kid, or uncle, you know, mentorship. That's, you know, mentorship programs. Like, young males need men, you know, to be an influence, a positive influence. So let me ask this. Are there things or things that maybe you experienced specifically growing up that you wanted to do differently as a parent? I know you had spoke a little bit about, like, having that dialogue, but is there anything else, that maybe something that happened in your childhood that was traumatic, that you were like, if I have kids, I'm never doing that?
Let's take it back to dialogue. Definitely one of those reasons. You know, as you know, as we grow up, you don't know everything, right? So then you have questions, And the last thing you need to do to your child that's asking you a question is, don't ask me no questions. Just do what I say.
Correct.
If I just do what you say, then I never have a clear understanding of how to maneuver.
Correct.
Which is the main thing. Right? Yeah. I don't have to add more to that.
Right.
You got to know how to maneuver through things. So yes, healthy dialogue is very important for that. Plus, you don't want the child in their brain thinking, am I loved? Am I not loved? And especially where we are currently in 2026 with their heavily, overly on super emotional children for whatever reasons. The internet, social media, food, right? So, you know, the wrong conversation in the wrong way could lead a child to the wrong, you know, again, how we grew up was what they called us, what, key latch kids, right? Latch keys, right? Which means you're younger than you should be to have a key and be responsible to be going in and out of the house.
Because I remember you was at Evander, so you got out, I think, after me or somehow like that. But I remember only being like 8 years old, walking like 7 blocks from Gun Hill to get home.
Wrong. I remember being on the train.
Yeah,
we're going downtown.
Right. Well, you to church to Harlem. Yeah,
to go to several trains.
Right.
But even that is like
these kids can never. My point is, these kids can never go through the traumas that we went through and be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And a lot of times, like I know when I was growing up, I would hear my grandmother and them, they would like put certain strains or stress in, and they would say that it's because of the absent father. But when I grew up, I understood that it would just be the father would have to work too. So the kid still had to come in the house on his own. If we both doing 9 to 5, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the balance ain't about is there a father in the home all the time. That's not what he's just there for. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because if we both working, we both gonna have to make a sacrifice. Right. Exactly.
Like our dad, Papa Ron, he wasn't home because he was out working. It was a different time though, right? And just like you said, not wanting to traumatize our kids like we were traumatized.
Yeah, exactly.
I never forget, this is kind of off topic, but I just remembered walking home, there was this pervert that had on this like it's a white guy, and he had on a trench coat.
Yeah,
and he was flashing us. And I never forget running home, like I didn't stop running. I almost ran past the house.
I remember
trying to get in the house.
I remember another time we walking home, and dudes was pulling a move. We was right outside of the school at the park.
Wow.
And remember, you was with me. I had to push you. You talking about wow?
I don't see.
So traumatic. You don't even remember.
Yeah.
But I literally push you and tell you, run, Reese, run.
Wow.
And dude got the hammer out. We passing the school, and we kids. But he got the hammer out. What you got? I want it. I gotta push my sister and maneuver how to get out of there, and still walk the same route tomorrow.
When I had my own kids, I promised that I wasn't gonna be like sweating the little things, like a lot of stuff. Like I didn't want my kids to tiptoe around me about little stuff, like going in the refrigerator, like you know what I'm saying. And I learned from other people's experiences around me. So like my grandmother didn't treat me that kind of way. My mother was more strict on, you know, food, like eating up everything. And it's not what she said; it was just the way she said things, like with her face all twisted.
Right.
It made you feel like she don't like you.
Right.
So then you. Like, I'm the type of person that if something is wrong, I won't talk about it. I'm just going to move different.
Correct.
So as a young person, 12, 13, 14, I'm already feeling like, you know what, I'm going to come in the house with my own food. Right. Because I needed to be places where I was appreciated, not tolerated. Right. And that was a thing for me. Like, and I just felt like sometimes, and I don't say all women, just like not all men, but like, the frustrations of what's going on in your own personal life is not for the children. You understand? And as a man, I've learned to discern that. Like with my kids, it's like if my son called me and he said, "Yo, Dad, I really need $300 because I'm trying to play football or whatever." Because I don't have the money, I don't get upset with him and say, "What you need to play football for?" No. Right. I'll be like, "You know what, son? I'm gonna make something happen, or I can't do it right now." Boom, boom, and teach him that, you know, it's okay if I don't got it. I'm not going to let my frustration to take it out on the kids. And I feel like when we was growing up, I look back now and I realize, you know, they was upset because they didn't have it. They wanted to provide it and they didn't have it. And then they get mad at you for wanting it. You want the video game. You want this. You want that.
Well, I think, and to your point, G, because I think it becomes the robber of dreams, and that's the worst place for a kid to be.
Yeah.
Hopeless and nowhere to go, because then, you know, I started doing other things that I didn't have any business doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
My new family, where I feel loved.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm doing things, and thank God I'm still here to tell the story, and I'm not like in a cemetery or, you know, doing 25 to life.
That's right.
You know, so God definitely had His grace and hand and mercy over me. But that's not everybody's story.
That's
and
right.
we know a lot of people that didn't make it from them very same environments, because you start looking for love in the wrong places and looking for validation in the wrong places.
Which is why having conversations, healthy debates even, are very important, because the kids need to know not only the path, but this is why you choose this path.
Correct. I think giving a kid just a message without context is dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Yeah, that's right.
Because all you do now is lead the child to be doing it again or asking the question again.
Yeah.
At some point, it's not about just a kid. I say, right? And I got my 6 I made and probably another 6 I raised, right? I'm into raising functional adults, not kids. There's a difference.
True.
There's a difference.
Very true.
Functional adults, okay, because regardless whether you want to believe it or not, your kid is just getting older and older.
Yeah.
And if you're not teaching the child to be functional, now you have an adult that will be dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Correct. And that's how the cycle's been going.
Correct.
You know, our parents, and however far back when the dysfunction first started, no one ever stopped to think like, hey, just because we've been doing this for 30 years doesn't
not
make
mean
it right.
you're right.
Just because we've been showing up this way doesn't mean this is the healthiest.
Yeah.
And it's difficult because we're creatures of habit, right? Because
That's
I'll tell you,
that's human.
from my first son to my youngest child, a way different parent.
Exactly.
A way different parent.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I was still a kid basically when I had my kid. I'm 20 years old. I don't know nothing. Thought I knew everything, knew nothing.
Right.
So me being a parent at 19, 20 years old, to being a mother now at 50, and my youngest is 15, my youngest children got a better version of me.
Of course.
A wholer version of me, a more healed version of me.
And an older version.
Right. Versus my oldest son, where I'm still going through the motions and still operating out of
that experience. So now you've had a child that's been 16, 17, 18, 19.
Well, yeah, that part of the teenage, but I'm just saying where I was in my part of my journey in my
your own personal
life.
growth.
If
correct.
you are a mess personally, it bleeds off into your kids, no matter how much you love them.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the thing is not what you say, it's how you say it. Now my son probably don't scared to get a juice. So I'm like, why the F you in the refrigerator?
Yeah.
But that's how I was raised.
Absolutely.
Does it make it right? So it's just like I had to learn, like, okay, this is not okay. Like something has to change because
hurt people.
Correct.
And that is a fact.
That's how that goes.
Yeah.
So that's why it's very important for you to heal yourself before you call yourself being good for anyone. So that's a relationship, your children, however.
Yes.
You got to be able to work on yourself first.
What do you think has been the most difficult part of fatherhood? Or one of the most difficult?
Most difficult thing.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm going to tell you, is when I started empty nesting. I felt, I didn't know how much the kids gave me my value until they was doing their own thing and they wasn't around.
Mm-hmm.
So when they started moving away and they was gone, and like they called less, and and they might have missed a birthday, or like, is it your birthday today? Like it was like little things like that for me,
right?
That just made me feel like, damn, like because I felt like I was doing everything for them their whole lives, and as soon as they got grown, it was like I'm busy, you know what I mean? And I had to learn that didn't mean that they didn't love me, but it just the love changed. It was different. And I had to be honest about it because I wasn't saying nothing. I was expecting them to do certain things, but they my kids.
Right.
So I had to tell them like, yo, this makes me feel away.
Difficult part, again, I'll say, as they get older, and you're trying to give them game, again, on which direction to go in and what not to do. And because the human experience is just that, and we all must go through it, even our children.
Right.
Watching them do something that I know is going to lead to me being more involved further down the line on some things I don't want to be involved in.
Right.
And me telling you, do not do this this way, and I give you a million examples, and they still go that way. And now I got to come as the cleanup crew on the other side, cleaning up something that I knew was going to be this in the first place. And then they sitting around looking like, and then you say, well, you know, you got to say it, I told you so. And it's like, well, Dad, I don't want to hear it. I don't care what you want to hear because I told you this will be it. So that's the most difficult thing for me is watching my children hurt themselves and not just go straight to the goal line. Direction. And I'm telling you to do, which is the easy, you know, as a parent, you're trying to create the easiest way for your child.
Right.
I don't want it to be difficult for you.
Correct.
Because again, it gives more work for me.
Yeah, and not only that.
So when things don't go right, what do? They calling Dad.
They're calling you anyway.
So I'm already telling you the route to the win.
Right.
But you want to take your own route.
Yeah. My grandmother told me that was the burden of being a parent. Is that it's like you got a glimpse of the future, but the kids don't never believe you. Right. And every parent goes through that. It's like if you went to the future and you came back and you're like, yo, these are the lotto numbers, and they're like, get out of here.
So shout out to G-Moms.
Yeah, that's how it always is. She was like, every parent is gonna go through that where you're gonna feel like you, all right, I got the up, I'm gonna show you what to do. So all you gotta do is do this and you good. And they're gonna be like, they're gonna wave you off.
A woman of wisdom. But absolutely. But
I think that's the most difficult.
Yeah, that's the most. Yeah,
for me,
I agree. I mean, even as a mom, that's difficult. Like with my oldest, I'll say certain things, but I try to fall back too because I don't want to like coddle him, because then he's not going to be a good man for a woman. You know, for his mate, or you know, and also respected him in his manhood. Because yes, I'm his mom, but he's an adult, and so I try to like, hey son, you know, well I think, you know,
and let him do his own thing,
and just pray like, God, please, you know, I hope he heard the advice, you know, because it's different when you have adult kids versus, you know, teenagers. Yeah, like when they're under your roof, they have to listen.
They listen way more.
You know, they have to listen even if they don't want to. But when you're talking about your 30-year-olds, your 31 soon.
Oh yeah, living in your own spot. Yeah, that's a little different. You don't listen to
he doesn't really have to listen to me at all. So how do you think fatherhood challenged you to grow emotionally? Because I know like we are from rough neighborhoods. Kill or be killed, right? And from going from that, being in the street, seeing the different things that we didn't have no business seeing at our age, like you just reminded me of a story that I totally, my brain blocked out. Yeah, when you was talking about it, you know, seeing certain things, it hardens us. Yeah. You know, everyone talks about, you know, PTSD and they correlate it to veterans. But we weren't, you know, war veterans, but post-traumatic stress disorder is a real thing.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and the things that we experience, running from gunshots, robberies, this, the that, the third, you know, the things that we saw at such a young age definitely hardened us because that was our way of protecting ourselves.
Absolutely.
So then how do you, as a man who has to stand up and be a man every day, all day, you don't get a choice. Yeah. Then to kind of like become more emotional and compassionate in your manhood for the sake of your children.
That's deep. Well, you got to do it. And again, growing up without having that, I know what that feels like. So I said from the beginning, I have a child, I'm not putting them through what I felt I went through. Yeah. Right. It's almost like, you know, you give your kids, for instance, you're super poor, you grow up on cornflakes. When you grow up, you buying Apple Jacks and Fruit Loops for your kids. Get out of your children, not realizing, you know, because that's what we're really dealing with, right? Like our generation really come from mud. And you grow up and you get yourself together and you give your children everything, and then they come entitled.
Correct.
But why? Because they don't have the same experiences of
what we have.
Right. So you kind of like
right.
create that, and but
sidebar. Our kids don't want to wash their clothes, and they have a washing machine and a dryer. Right. We was going to the laundromat. Yeah. I remember being 8 years old.
Come on,
my mother separated the clothes. Do not put my stockings in the dryer. Yep. Do not put my bras in the dryer. At 8 years old, 3rd grade, I had to be equipped to know what needed to come back home to be hung up. That's right. Not forget what dryer I put the clothes in, to fold them up, to push a shopping cart. And we was in that private house over there on Cougar. You remember Cougar Avenue, right there uptown. And bring the shopping cart upstairs, and all of that. Yep. 8 years old.
Yep. Right. And now we have washers and dryers.
And they complain about
in the laundry room. Right. And the laundry room was never clean. There's always clothes in the washing machine sour. There's always clothes in the dryer.
Like, what? How did you and your fatherhood challenge you to become more emotional? So you were speaking about how you did become more emotional, but then it led to your children being more entitled.
Exactly.
Correct. You know.
But just trying to be careful with the men that you raise and not break them. Correct. You got to be careful with the girls and not make them too soft. But then it backfires. Because now your daughter will be harder than your son. I always met my kids where they was at. Like, all right, you the artist. You the athlete. You this. They all is somebody.
Everybody got their own gift.
They all somebody.
They ain't nobody the same.
Yeah, I think in a lot of our environments, they were trying to be hard on us what they felt was for our good, but it really broke our spirit.
Break your spirit.
You know, even with my children. And then when my son get frustrated, son, don't talk to your sister like that. I understand why you're upset. However, if you're being rude or calling her out her name when she meets a man in the street, she's going to think that's okay for him to talk to her like that. Because I know my brother loved me. Mm-hmm. And that's the way my brother talked to me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and so what I'm saying, Reese, but you got to think about us. We didn't know that, right? So, and no one was telling us.
No, and I beat up like every boyfriend I had. That was terrible.
You know what I mean? Again, therefore, someone, I'm not going to point the finger, but someone should have been able to say, you know what, y'all can't act like that with each other.
Right.
You gotta have that balance.
Son, don't talk to your sister like that. Reese, don't talk to your brother like that.
Correct.
Because again, you talking to me crazy, but then think we gonna go outside. I gotta protect you. Oh, that's probably not gonna happen.
It's probably not gonna happen.
Correct. And so, but that you balance. Know what I saw that opportunity and the parallel, because my youngest son birthday is a day after his birthday, and my daughter is a day before mine. Wow. So what I'm literally seeing is me and my brother in a different lifetime, and I'm able to be 10 steps ahead, because although me and the God is great now,
but we also had them conversations.
But we had them as adults, and there were things, things that really broke me, and I didn't understand why he was doing what he was doing. She thought I was
just being mean to her because I'm like, correct. Of course, I always loved you, nigga. But why am I have you around me and I'm running with a bunch of wolves?
So 21 years ago, when my brother had my nephew, I came to him because I had already been going through my healing journey. But, it's not linear. You take 10 steps forward, 5 steps back. So I've been doing this healing journey for myself since my early 20s. Okay. So Charlie's born, and I came to my brother, and I was like, yo, I felt like this, I felt like that. And he was really messed up, like, damn, Reese, I didn't mean for you to feel that way. And then he gave context to what he was saying, and it made sense, like, yo, but we weren't taught how to communicate because our parents didn't communicate. That's right. It was shut the F up, go sit the F down, because I said so.
That's right.
Did you suck your teeth?
And don't ask no questions.
Right. You want your teeth on the floor?
Teeth be knocked down your mouth.
Right. So growing up.
And this is my parents. Yeah.
So growing up
and never hear, I love you, son.
Right. So growing up in those environments, it really stifles your growth and your emotional intelligence. And that's why we have to, it's our job. It doesn't matter who broke us. As adults, it's our job to heal ourselves, because we do, no point, no fingers. Our parents could only give us what they had.
Absolutely.
Right? And somebody failed them. So it's like, I don't hold no, or harbor no ill feelings towards my parents, all I know is that it wasn't right and I have to do better.
Okay. And this is why we have to be better versions of parents to our children.
Correct.
If we plan on stopping, like you said, this cycle.
Correct.
And that's why another thing that I want to touch on is like how I fought for a long time, even knowing anything about my father and all that stuff. But I learned that I had to learn who he was so I not make his mistakes, right? When I look at the early beginnings of my family, like my grandmother, like I trace my family back to my grandmother being a little girl. And then I watched how she was raised growing up, how she was treated being the darker one in her family and all that. She always was ridiculed. And then she took that into being with a man that didn't really appreciate her. And then that turned into children that this man necessarily didn't want. He wasn't even in love with her. So you're talking about if a family is being raised in an environment without love, it's different than when I like hear people that was like, me and my woman, we was in love and we had our first child and this and this and this. That kid has a different experience. Yes. You're talking about generations of kids growing up. My uncle wasn't liked by his dad and felt whatever. He was going in and out of jail since he was 8, 9 years old. Wow. So this is going from generation to generation to generation.
Okay, welcome back to the Journey Continue podcast. We had to take a short break, but we have a new guest with us, my cousin Dre.
Another father.
Another great father. Dre, would you like to tell a little bit about your fatherhood journey? What you thought when you first found out that you were going to be a dad? Like, how did you feel?
Oh, man. Well, I really didn't want to be one first. I didn't like kids.
Okay. But, that's real.
After I had mine, it changed my life, really. A lot of the things I was into, I shut it down day one. And, lost friends, family, and all that in the meantime.
Yeah, correct.
But being a man, you don't have other choice but to be a good dad. So that's all I knew.
Right. And then besides your village, right, you were, like a lot of moms, a single dad, right? Because your son's mom, passed away.
Man, you don't hold that stigma. You just, you
do what you do.
There you go.
Just do what you do.
Just doing what you gotta do.
But I'm mentioning it because it's important, because I think, like I was explaining to G and my brother, is that the dialogue, you see so many people online, social media, TV shows, it's like this constant theme of what fathers aren't instead of highlighting the ones that are.
Right.
And I think that typically if there is a dad, right, then he's doing it with a wife, and that's not everybody's situation, So with my nephew losing his mom at a young age, you were definitely the only parent.
Right.
Now you had your village,
It was small.
Yeah, it was a small village, but you
raised them alone.
But you raised them alone, and so I don't think that's
wasn't it medical things involved too?
Yeah,
was it a premature situation?
Yeah.
So come on, that's what I'm saying. It's another. The panel is amazing. Honestly, I can cut you off. It's an amazing panel. Bottom line, my brother, my cousin, my brother. It's my brother. Like, speaking for him, he raised his child, the loss of his mother, and a premature child by himself. That actually went all the way, wound up going to college,
right?
Graduating from Morehouse. And I just wanted to speed that up because he's fresh to the conversation, but you can continue from there. I just wanted to give,
But now, like you said, growing up as a preemie, I think it was a challenge, but just like I said before, as a parent, you just had to do what you had to do.
Correct.
And as far as him being sick, I guess God above, the man that's in me was the one that kept him strong.
That's right.
Kept him strong from now on to what he's doing now.
Right.
That's all I can say. Life is a blessing.
Absolutely.
You got to count them and respect them when you get them.
Exactly.
Correct.
And you only get out of it what you put into it.
There you go. That's right.
Yeah.
So we definitely need to. I think this conversation was definitely important. Reese highlighting brothers like myself and my brothers.
Yeah.
Because there's too much of the monotony.
Yeah, break the monotony. Every right, like because every guy is not a bad guy,
Absolutely.
right?
Just because you raising the children without the mother, maybe y'all just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. So we born alone, we die alone. But if, you know, for the women out there that do have men or fathers to their children, you know, I would say the best thing probably to do is let the child know their father, let the father be involved, whether he wants to be involved with you or not.
On whatever level he could be involved.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
Right.
But because again, you can't put
On
a
whatever
price
level.
tag
Yeah.
on time spent.
That's right.
It's invaluable.
And
Like
knowledge that he's teaching. Because
right.
even though you might live by AB lifestyle, and the dad might live outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that teaches him, even from that dad point of view, is to be aware of the things outside the box.
Correct.
Where a woman can't teach that.
Correct.
Where a man can teach a man how to be a man.
Yeah, I said that earlier.
A woman can teach him how to be nice and open doors and do
Yeah.
those things, but can she teach him how to be aware of danger?
Exactly.
Or
Exactly what I was saying.
Right.
Examples of things that you need in the household that we got to go above and beyond to get without question.
Or expectations. I've been telling my sons, like you said, I was raised by women telling me what to do for a woman, but never telling me what to expect from a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, you getting bullied in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to just allow somebody to walk on you and say, "Oh, my wife is happy," so boom, boom. It's like, no, you're supposed to be happy as well.
And to your point, and this is June. It's the month celebrated for Father's Day, but it's also Mental Health Awareness for Men's Month.
Really?
Yes. And and I think that it is important that not only is the conversation being had, but it's experience. It's not something you were told. Like you actually lived this, right? So you're an expert and the author of your story, and that's correct. That's what's dangerous too about women not having other positive male models in their life, even if they're doing that journey of parenting by themselves, because it's very dangerous if we're not careful, if we don't check ourselves, right? Because abuse is abuse, emotional, physical, right? Mental. So let's just say I didn't have strong men like y'all in my life, right? I didn't have any mentor, and I'm pouring all my unhealed stuff on my son. And either he's going to grow up to be a pushover, or maybe he resents me and hates me so much because I made his life hell, he's a woman beater now. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because it's going to come out some way.
Yeah.
Right? It has to be balanced. So it's dangerous when us women, if we're unhealed, when we're raising sons, without that mentor, without that uncle, without that, and I'm not talking about Cooter Brown that's always drunk uncle. God, we love him too. But I'm saying the positive role models, right? Examples of what greatness looks like, because it's that balance. And then when I'm out of pocket, because I'm looking at something maybe from a more emotional perspective, because I'm more tapped into my femininity, he could go to Uncle G and be like, Uncle G, or Uncle Case, or Uncle Dre, look, this is what happened, and mom said blah, 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 and I don't think it, and he could get another perspective. And so it definitely takes a village, not just to raise children, but for us to grow 100%. As adults. That's why we keep our circle small, right? But it's impactful because we all come with our own expertise to continue to help one another elevate, which when we elevate, it helps our children. And so, I just wanted to highlight that. Great man. I wanted to do this like months ago. Like I said, it's too many narratives about what men aren't, but I know great men. Like y'all have all been great fathers, even to children that weren't yours. Absolutely. Every fundraiser you did for the community, back to school, feeding the kids, giving out sneakers, clothes, like everything that you did, even you right now. You're doing a workshop teaching children film. That's mentorship. Some of the kids, right. Some of the kids you're mentoring probably don't even have that interaction with another male.
Yeah, that's true.
And so knowing what you're doing for work is still a gift and a blessing that some kids don't get ever.
That's true.
You
I had a
know.
little girl just tell me that her dad, he bought a big house. And this is a white girl. He bought a big house. They go on trips. They do all this stuff. But he don't hang out with us though. Like, you know, ain't none of that going on. He send mom with the kids. He busy. He got stuff to do. Boom, boom. And she was like, she just want to just go hang out with her dad. You know what I mean? So I'm like, wow, that's crazy because in his mind, he's providing this great life. They live in this big old house. They live in this whatever. But he's missing. It's almost like
Time.
that time, how important it be. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Money buy things, but you can't get time.
it's crazy.
Right.
But then the balance is a lot of times too, because when I'm looking at that, I'm saying, well, I seen the mother come in and how she moving and the big diamond and all that. I'm like, well, she made this man this way, some kind of way. Like, you gotta be this guy. Like, you know, she picking a guy that was that guy. So the kid is not happy, but maybe the mother's happy. Like, but see, so is that correct though? It's like we gotta make a decision for the children sometimes, and that is the biggest decision. Like when we were talking about before about what would I do different or if I could do. I always talk to my mother about the fact that she left from my grandmother's house where I was living in like a private building, right, in a brownstone. And she took us to a neighborhood that was crazy because her, my mom, my grandma was getting into it. So she made an emotional decision and put her kids in harm's way. Now she mad at me because I'm across the street with the dudes rolling dice and they doing the wrong thing. But you moved me across the street from that. I never did that before because it wasn't around me. As parents, we gotta always make decisions that's gonna be the best for the kid. And it don't matter if you're a woman or a man, whatever. I know as a father, I always wanted to look at my kids and say, this decision I'm making is good for him, and then I think about me. Now I'm not going to think about me like it's not like I'm gonna act like I don't want nothing for myself. But if it ain't good for him and me, then it ain't good. Correct. I can't just be good and tell him, hey man, shut up, you a kid and all that. No, it was never like that.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct. And that goes to like the balance of being a provider.
Yeah.
You know, a parent and then a partner.
Yeah.
You know, because at one time you were married. You know.
So a couple times.
brave guy. Yeah. So how was that? So how was that? Like, okay, you have to be the provider. You have to be a parent, and then you have to be a partner.
Yeah.
So your wife, your significant other is expecting things from you.
Yeah.
The job is expecting things from you. The kid is expecting things from you. How, as men, do you balance it in a society where they make men feel, in my opinion, that your thoughts don't matter or your feelings don't matter because you're supposed to work until you drop dead, I guess, and then say this is the legacy.
But that is the balance. Like brother Dre came in and said, you just do what you got to do because that's what a man does.
And I know with work younger, I felt that we had to do certain things or we had to go by the rules. But now it's like I don't give a fuck.
Right.
And that's the way I carry my life.
But you don't give a fuck why though, brother?
Because I'm at peace with myself.
That's right.
And one thing I learned when you find peace, if you can't change it, there's no reason to worry about it.
That's and right. Also, you ain't giving a fuck because who else gonna do it for you? Nobody. So you gotta do it regardless. And that's the thought of a man. And ladies, before y'all in the comments, what did he mean? What he's saying is the man's responsibility to lead, provide, and protect. So therefore, the list is way longer. Where it's not even expected for the woman in the relationship to do everything the man is doing.
Right.
It's just not.
Nobody says the woman has to protect the family.
At all.
That's
cut the grass, change the oil,
this is the things
walk the dog, etc., etc.
Because I always try to tell my kids, especially the boys, that like when a man falls, it's just expected that he figure out a way to get up.
Fuck up.
Right. I got one daughter, right? If my daughter don't have nothing, right, it's nothing for her to go home to her mama house. The boys is like, oh yeah, you can come here, but you gotta put a limitation on this. You might have to pay some rent. You might have to. We got to figure this out. Boom, boom. Now I'm about to have a bunch of people over here. Da, 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 da. Girls is just dealt with just a little bit differently. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just a little more. Yeah, just a little more. Especially if they got kids and they, you know, they got to bring the kids and all that. So I understand that. I just talk to the boys about like, look, when things get difficult, where you really win is just keeping a positive mind. You can't pay for that. You to be down and out and say, you know what, this is just a moment. The next moment is my greatest moment. So I'm not going to let this moment define me right here.
And again, when you asked about something about mental health, how do you deal with?
Yeah, how do you find the balance? Like allow yourself to share space of your emotions,
emotions and mental health.
I know as us, like us as a crew, we bounce it off each other.
That's a fact. We definitely do that. But we do it with each other because we're not going to throw it back in one another's face. Now, what I was telling Reese is, as a man in a relationship, you don't have that option to deal with what you're going through. You just got to goddamn say, okay, I got to do better. So I got to figure it out.
So what you're saying, just so we're clear for the viewers, because there may be some young fathers watching who haven't met this level of their journey yet, right?
Yeah. Right.
So what you're saying is not only what you show up every day for yourself as a great man, y'all have that in your brotherhood as well.
Absolutely.
And so this is
that's
community.
The power. That is the power of the brotherhood.
Okay.
Because again, for us, we can have conversations, understand because we go through similar things. Yeah. And then still give the information that's needed to say, man, look, you doing X, Y, Z, this, keep going. Where if you was dealing in a relationship with a woman, how long does the woman want to hear you down and out?
Yeah, exactly.
Without it going left. Without respect being lost.
I just know, man, you had a conversation a couple years ago, maybe 5-10 years. I think I've called you and told you I had a $700 bill or something. You laugh just like that. You say, yo, that's your problem, shit. You give me that, I got 10 dogs, fucking 15 kids, 5 houses.
Right.
But that taught me. Don't complain about that shit. Go make it happen. Right. Because shit, somebody beside you got worse shit than you got. And he ain't even got half the shit you got. Yeah. So, I mean, as a man, that's what it taught me. And I tell people that story all the time because that woke me up.
Yeah, but that really speaks to your character, your integrity, you know, your tenacity, and just the greatness overall. And I know that's why I look up to you all, because you are like the closest examples for fathers for me as well.
Yeah.
You know, especially in the passing of my dad, Papa Ron, you know, and that, you know, you never stop needing your parent just to even be able to have dialogue with him. Although I was already a grown woman with children, it was a different perspective. And I think that women need to have solid men in their lives.
Absolutely.
To have another perspective.
Men need that.
Well, and
men need that. Let me tell you, not to cut you off, go ahead.
I was going to say, but as women, we need it, because if not, then we are the ones that are on Instagram texting these, you know, things that I guess make a good headline pop, but it's not really true. Because you're speaking from an unhealed place.
My daughter always tell me that it's hard for her to date. She's 32. She just turned 32 on June 9th. She can't find a mate because she's sizing him up to everything I do.
Yes.
Oh, Dad, he can't change a lock. He can't do this. He can't change a tire. He don't put me on the inside of the street when we walking.
Correct.
Put me on the inside of the street, not the sidewalk. Things that she watched me do with her mother. I ain't even say that to her. She just watched me move with her mother. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, oh, he want to go back and forth. He like a woman. He this and that. Like, because I didn't do those things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay. So I'm like, wow. But I'd rather that than her dealing with somebody that's punching her in the mouth, thinking that that's love. Because the next later, he like, maybe you know I love you, but you talk a lot. And all that, because I don't raise a strong daughter.
But that goes back to the example of a man being present for a daughter. And again, what I was getting ready to say, God bless the dead Papa Ron, him being there was an example of a man raising children that wasn't his. Right? Because it's my stepfather. Right? So it allowed me to raise a bunch of children because
You knew what that looked like.
come on, and he came home every day. Again, not to put his business out there, but he was emasculated every day from a mother that was a tyrant. But he still came home.
Yeah, that's
I don't know why. I'd have been went to the store.
Because he loved us.
I'd have been went to the store and never came back. But what I'm saying is the man came home every day.
He did.
Now again, we two different men. I work when the sun come up till the sun go down. Papa Ron's gonna work, do his job, and come home and sit down and watch TV. That's still a different type. But I respect the man. You're raising children that weren't yours. You dealt with a tyrant woman that was your wife, and you came home and put that check down.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I can respect that. So not to say that that's what I'm going to do, but I have respect for him because as the stepchild you probably didn't want, I was him.
Yeah. Oh, you was off the chain.
Right. Yeah, forgive me.
To the end.
Right.
But what I'm saying is what that looks like as a man to come home every day. I have to salute and double salute for real. Any stepfather, which may be a great stepfather, right? Stepfather, right? Right. So I salute that, and I think that's a whole nother level of salute you got to give to another dad, especially when you in there and the children ain't yours and certain things.
And not only
move around because
the mother gonna draw the line.
There we go.
But not only were we not his, we were his first. Like we was his children before he even had children with my mother.
That's different too.
Okay, so we welcomed him into fatherhood.
Yeah, he became a dad with
right
first.
My sister, I was like 5 going on 6, I think, when Charlotte was born.
But this is my point.
They were already together when I was like 3, so he was already like doing that before he even had children.
I was able to do the same thing in my first marriage. I had 2 daughters before I even had a kid.
Right.
Wow.
Same exact thing.
And that's for me.
And I knew what that looked like.
My stepkids was they really made me a dad because they was my full time. Because I'm married, they moms. They the ones in the house with me every day, every night. My other kids come in to visit.
Right.
So, but them, I'm taking to school every morning, picking them up, taking them here. You gotta go to the doctor. He this and that, this and that. So it was like complete. Like they really. And then, like you said, when you're dealing with the kids and they growing up, and you can do all this stuff for them, but then mom's gonna intervene when you're trying to you try to put some discipline down. Right.
Don't talk to little Ricky like that.
You can't talk to him.
I think he was a little harsh. I can't lie. Well, was I harsh when he was eating? Because if I ain't harsh when he's eating, I wouldn't hear shit about this beef.
When I was buying these sneakers and clothes.
Right, because if I could feed him, I could beat him.
What you do with the children, it come back tenfold because all my kids love me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's as far as I know, they all love me and they all respect me. Ain't nobody, when I come around, it's like, oh, dad's around. They tuck their stuff.
But see, it's another side. Now, I see dads that do good for other people's kids and not their own.
Wow.
Yeah, but we're not highlighting those suckers.
And those dads, we're not jacking.
Yeah, we're not condoning that on this podcast. This is strictly for the men that have been standing up 10 toes down for years.
I think men like that are crazy, honestly.
Yeah. Well,
because how dare you not take care of what you created?
Well, they are.
Right? Like the job of a man is to protect the women and children.
Whether you're with the mother or not.
That's it. Yeah. That's what I teach my sons. That's what I teach my nephew.
Right.
Right? Protect the women and children.
And if your kids are hurt, and I would definitely got to touch on this, if your kids are hurt and they coming at you a certain kind of way, you can't dismiss them and go where it's sweet and roses. You got to fix that as a parent. It's your job to fix that. If my son mad with me, I can't sleep.
Listen.
If I know that he's mad,
but geez,
he's not talking about a grown
listen,
child. I'm not talking about 21 and over.
I'm talking about kids. Yeah,
listen,
my kid is me and my kid ain't cool. I can't just be like, oh man, fuck him.
But listen,
it bothers me, bro.
Of course, because we've already established, and the reason for this podcast to talk about fatherhood journey, because y'all are really men that are fathers. So of course you're gonna go or to sleep and have pondering thoughts if your son is upset with you, because you know what it takes to be a father. Some men, just like some women,
Okay, I got what you're saying. Yeah,
didn't want to be parents ever. They lack accountability, and they're gonna always be more upset at the person telling the truth than looking at where they failed to make the adjustment. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So of course you're gonna not be able to have a well rested sleep because you're a real father, a real dad.
I feel I'm a real dad as well, but I think I swear I think I'm a little different. Now I will have to talk about it. I probably will call you or you. But I'm getting me some fucking rest because that's a decision you made.
I'm not saying that he's not gonna.
I feel I poured in more than enough. Well, you should be all right. But if you do some dumb, especially over 21, because now you're deemed by the world to be an adult.
Correct.
So now because you got to remember, once the kids start, because we all got kids over 18, right? Mm-hmm. Right. I got some still younger than 18. But what I'm saying is, once you start acting like you're an adult, then you must move like an adult. And adults don't get motherfucking help. Yeah, I ain't seen that yet. That's right on the fence.
Yeah.
Kid ain't grown at the same.
Yeah, so you need to figure out what it's gonna do. That's just for me. Yeah, I would be initially like feel it'll bother me that how dare you, and we had this conversation this way, right? Because I just told you about this week. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, nah, I slept good.
Yeah,
I'm motherfucking slept.
Yeah, well, I mean, you slept good, but it was still
after I had to. It probably had to talk about it the next day again and again.
But you process.
But this is what I'm saying.
You process.
Because what he's talking about is when the dad write him off, and he's like, you know what, these kids being good to me over here. I don't care about them kids no more.
Oh no, hell.
You're still talking to these kids, so therefore,
and that's a farce too. You know why? Because if you're the same dude. You probably was getting praises with your first family until they found out that you was a narcissistic, manipulative, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So now that the gig is up, you go somewhere else with the same mask, and it'll be a matter of time before this second family find out who you really are. What are the top 3 values you hope that your children carry with them into adulthood that you taught them? 3 values. I'll go with you first.
Man, I tell them, treat people how you want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
Keep a smile on your face. And, just stay strong.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all, man. That's all I can.
And what about you, G?
What's the question?
What are top 3 values that you hope that your children carry with them into their adulthood?
Never quit.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a bad moment, don't let it define you. Know that you're always supposed to be trying to be a better person.
What are 3 values that that you hope that your children take into adulthood with them? 3 values that you taught them.
Never waste time.
Mm-hmm.
Mean what you say. Be the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. You can be the best version of yourself, and you're honest about everything that comes out your mouth. Pretty much, you operating with integrity.
Right.
And on morals.
Yeah.
Accountability. All the things that are really needed to really
be a decent human being,
or even just to achieve your greatness.
Yeah.
Right, which is a decent human being.
Yeah.
Be a decent human being and be polite and kind to everyone. Of course, not get pushed over and BS, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, because there are a lot of successful people, but they also sell their soul, so they're not operating with a moral compass
at all
or anything like that. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, cool. So now this next subject is more about like legacy and reflection, right? Okay. So obviously we're here on Gaddy Farms.
Yes.
This is the continuum of legacy from what our great grandparents, or whatever they did during their.
No, we salute them, but we starting this.
Oh yeah, but we salute them.
We got to give them all salute and praise because without them we wouldn't be here. But this is definitely a one-on-one situation. It's first generation. Very grateful for the opportunity and grateful for the growth because we all know, started somewhere else and no one, not even myself. I don't even think God knew I was headed there, honestly. Even though knows all, but what I'm saying is, there was a time I were taking abandoned pit bulls and throwing away dogs and chickens and crickets and snakes and grasshoppers.
Yo, we had everything in our
whatever.
apartment in the Bronx.
And I thought I was Diego or taking blood pressure on ladybugs, killing them, and just wanted to be a veterinarian. But then the process of sitting still and at a table like this, like I can sit this long with conversing.
Right.
If you put books in front of me, I might just start, go crazy just because, right? So, thought I was gonna be a vet, and then I realized all of the steps that it take in extra schooling, and then that was out of here. But look, hey, I'm not upset. I'm a farmer.
You still
Coon
got
said,
it.
15 dogs, 75 chickens, pigs, goats, ducks, turkeys.
Right.
Oh my.
Right.
And
so this is
you
the
believe
legacy.
it's the legacy that we're starting for all, right? So it's definitely a learning process. It's also therapeutic.
And what about you, G? Like, what legacy are you trying to leave for your family?
I think for me, it's more about setting a tone for identity of do whatever you put your mind to, right? Since I came to Georgia, I started anything that was put in front of me that I set my mind to, I accomplish it. And I try to pass that to my kids that there's no time frame on, like, if you want to go back to school, you want to change your direction, do it. I'm an example of that. If you want to stay what you're doing, you want to work hard, you want to build a business, do it. I'm an example of that. If your business is failing or what they call failing and it ain't making a whole lot of money, but you're sticking and you're going to hang in there and you're going to still work a job and try to figure out the business on the side, I'm an example of that. Like, so nothing is going to come easy, but you got to keep working. Like, and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with being a regular 9 to 5 either. Like, if that's what you want to do, that's great. Like, but whatever you do, just know that if you want it to be small, it can be small. If you want it to be big, it can be big. Just work at it.
Right.
And that's it. That's the legacy I'll pass. And we gotta be the patriarchs of the family.
You can't just name yourself that. You have to really be that. So you are the patriarch for your family when you're uniting and you're telling Camp, look, that's your little brother. You still gotta, because this is what men do.
Exactly.
You know, and then the women of the family, like how your grandmother, she obviously was the matriarch.
That's right.
Yo, we getting on this bus, you gonna go see your cousin, and this is what we doing.
I got a cousin that live out here right now. My cousin Alfonso. He was 10 years younger than me. I go to his house. He got pictures up in his house. He got my grandmother on his wall. Because my grandmother was his mother's big homie.
Right.
So regardless of the fact, like, she made sure she would move around. I used to be on the bus with her. She'd get on the 44, going down Nostrand, and be getting off. We got to go over here, stop in the projects. Let me see how ill of a matriarch she was. Her ex-husband, who abandoned her and went and started a new family, she was taking care of his mother, who he didn't go see. I thought that was her mother. I never knew that lady was my grandfather's mother.
That's her mother.
But she made sure she went and take care of that lady and went over there and checked on that lady for real.
A true matriarch.
She was there. And my moms and all of them, like, God bless them, but you can't, like you said, that don't come to you because somebody died and now you the elder in the family.
Well, because you're a woman.
You got to move a certain kind of way.
What kind of legacy are you wanting to leave behind for your family?
Like the brothers just said, I think even with us, we're the ones that's coming around to be the matriarchs and patriarchs now. Because I look at my mother. When my grandmother passed, just like they said, she didn't know how to step up and be the leader. And she's the eldest of the family.
Wow.
But she dropped the ball.
Right.
And I know me and my character, I'm the one that run like my grandma. I got love for everybody, but I'm gonna tell you how I really feel. Whether you like that.
Right.
And I'm telling you some real shit. I ain't gonna tell you no BS, no lies on you. I'm gonna tell you exactly how it is. That's just up to you to take it.
Yeah.
That's my legacy. I just want you to be real. And I'm teaching people to be real.
Right.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Because nowadays I think society has got us and our kids where it's okay to be bullshitted than to be a bullshitter.
Correct.
And that ain't the way life's supposed
Right.
to be. Because, I mean, like I said, we wouldn't be 20 or 30 years deep if we didn't trust each other with our lives.
Correct.
Because, like I said, I know when I moved to Vegas, I didn't have my family that I trusted.
Right.
I called my man.
Right.
I told him, hey, my son never need to come. I ain't even had to say it. He said, of course.
Yeah.
Already had him here.
Yeah.
And then
I
on top
remember
of that,
that.
but I know the way we raised, the way we kick it with each other. His kids even looked out for my son.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
They made sure that he was doing this and made sure he was doing it. So we are doing the right thing to take over what we was taught.
Exactly.
Well, we got off track because, like I said, our parents, they were good women, they were strong women.
They dropped the ball, though. You have to.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. I'll say this: they dropped the ball because you only know what you know, and unfortunately for them, they were not equipped to be the generational curse breakers, and that's okay. And I think that's the commonality with us, that we are, and many, may be called, but some of us are really chosen. That is what we're placed in our families to do. We are, what if you want to call it, the whistleblowers. We are the ones that, like you say, we're going to tell it like it is. And people don't like to hear the truth. So being truthful and being at peace, like you stated, with yourself comes with a lot of good vibes. And you got to be okay with that, because we can't settle. Even if it is grandma, dad, uncle, whoever, if you're dysfunctional and you're harming me, why would I let you continue that same harm to my children? So it's about standing up for what's right. It's not about being like you hate anyone. You just understand, hey, you did the best you could with what you had, and it wasn't okay. And because of those, right, and because of those experiences, I want to do something different for mine, and then we heal and we move on. And then every year, day that we get better, our children see that. They're not just hearing it, because children do what they see you do, never what we tell them to do, right? And so we're actually examples. So when they start having children, they remember my father was always there. It didn't matter if he had $5, 5 cents, he was there. A phone call away if I needed him to be, or I lived with him when my mom couldn't raise me for whatever reason. Like, they're going to remember those things. It's not just talk. Y'all show and prove.
But I got even a couple of my son's friends that graduated with him from Ohio. They came from mom and pop's home. They tell him that they respect me more than their parents. Wow. Because I don't cut no corners.
Right.
And I mean, even with them, I'm like, yo, motherfucker, I don't mind telling shit.
Right.
You doing some wrong shit, I'm not going down with you.
Right, right.
That's true.
Right. Every time. So, in closing, I just want to ask this, right? Each of you answer. What do you wish people understood about fathers? Like, with all of the misconceptions going on, and there's a lot of men that, for whatever reason, didn't really stand up and be the fathers that they needed to be. What would you wish that people really understood what fathers, what fathers do about fathers, real fathers?
I figure we back. You remember that old daddy that nobody really fucked with because he meant business? Hey, that's me.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, I'm taking care of everything, but shit, hey, I ain't taking no shit.
That's right.
That's everybody.
Right. And what you wish people understood about fathers?
Fathers are more than just a paycheck.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
So it's like, again, you got women, you got an opportunity to have your child's father in your child's life. Let them do it to whatever level that is. It doesn't matter if he's not paying you X, Y, Z.
Correct.
If the child is happy, safe first, and happy, then let it ride. But a child is not a paycheck.
Correct.
So let the father do the father thing to whatever level he can do that to, and then it gives the child the opportunity to say, okay, I understand my father from this right here. Because if you start saying, hey, I'm not gonna let you see your father because of these things here, then you really turn the child into a paycheck. And did you really have the child out of love, or did you have that child to come up? Right. And I think if you really just had the child out of love and you want the best for your child, then you got to award your child the opportunity and not rob them.
Correct.
Out of being loved.
Yeah.
Because it takes more than one person to make a child.
Absolutely.
The other person might want to show the child love. Now, again, if it's a dangerous situation, then at that point you use discernment and you say, hey, I can't do that like that. I got to shut it down, or he has to come on our turf and let's see how that operates.
Right.
If it's just a situation where you just in your head because he's not giving you what you're asking for,
or even doing what you want him to do.
Same thing.
Because my oldest kid's father drove me crazy, but because we were robbed of our father, I did not do that to my son.
Because that's the wrong thing.
I said, listen, he's not going to be a kid forever. There's nothing bad that I need to tell him about his father that he's not going to figure out on his own.
Yeah. Listen, and that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to give the child the opportunity to know the father.
Yeah.
So, like for me, and y'all know this, right? So, married, from the marriage comes a divorce. From the divorce, I go for custody of all 6 of my children. Custody battle went for a whole year. Each month, I got to go back to the court to explain to these people why I want custody of my children. The people are looking at me crazy. For one, I got locks. For two, I have no full-time job. So in their mind, because I'm not punching a clock somewhere, how could you even, and what are you going to do? But I'm still clearly the better parent. So 12 months later, a year of going back and forth to court to get custody of my children, they finally awarded me custody, and we rocked and rolled ever since then.
Right.
But again, if you was to say, oh, you don't have a full-time job, then that's going to be the reason why. It's like, my children are loved and my children are great. And, one child works for the power company where he's searching and looking for lines. I got another child that's a CEO in one of the county situations. I got another child that's a CEO. I got my sons in college playing football. I got my other daughter doing classes online, and everyone is going to be something. So I just feel, at the end of the day, if you believe you can achieve and whatever you want to do, just do it. Don't let no one stop you from doing anything that you feel you can do.
Yeah.
So even if that's raising children or just being the president,
right?
You see what we got in office, right? I don't want to get you banned, my bad. Leave that alone. But what I'm saying is, anything you want to do, you can actually do it. You got to believe to achieve. And that's
right. And what you wish people understood about fathers?
I think that people got to understand that you need to check on fathers more. Like, I think men suffer in silence a lot, and there's a lot of things that we don't say and we deal with in our heads, and like in the car driving around with the music off, and like we try to like take stuff inside, and that stuff, that kind of stress could kill you.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of really great men have been appreciated after they were gone. And I don't want to be that type of father. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want my roses while I can smell them. Yeah. And I just think that, like, I wish people could really see that it has changed. I think our generation doesn't get credit for turning things around. The statistics are based on marriage certificates. So they'll say that, there's no fathers in the home and this and that based on marriage certificates. But the truth is that the black father is in the house or in the kid's life way more than he was when we was coming up. I know kids that from dudes that's in the street and gangs, all kind of stuff. They got their kids every weekend. Yeah. So I see this clearly.
But one reason why I say that, because I think with us, we want our kids to be better than us.
Yeah.
I don't think our parents taught us that.
Yeah. Well, they said it. They said it, but they didn't. But they didn't. They said it, but they didn't give us the tools. Yeah. Because I could recall both my mom and Papa Ron saying, "Reese, I want the best for you," but you gave me nothing.
They want the best for you.
Yeah.
They didn't say be better than them.
Oh.
We want our kids to be better than us.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's
okay, that's a different.
And we yards.
Right.
We'll help
So
them.
it's
We'll
big
put them
shoes.
right on the finish line.
Right. And without being upset if they're not doing what you say to do. So our parents, if you don't say do what I say do, then I'm not fucking with you. I'm not going. I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not even gonna help. Get a job and figure out how to get to work. Get to work and give me $100 a week. Get to work, come home from work, get the job. What the hell? And here I am, put 180,000 miles on a brand new truck, getting all my kids to work. To each of them actually are on their way to get out the house or already left the house, and they own vehicles and they own jobs.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You gave them the avenue to do that. Yeah, I just want to thank y'all again. Time.
Thank you.
That you came to sit and talk with me.
When does the episode drop?
Oh, well, the episode, I think it's perfect, although I don't really subscribe to the holidays and where they're orchestrated. This is the month of Father's Day, so I thought that it would be befitting to drop on Father's Day.
Well, happy Father's Day to all the real fathers.
Right.
Say that.
Happy
salute to you, and keep going. Keep going. Even if it's not seemed like it's appreciated, doesn't matter. Men lead.
Yes.
And men lead the women and children.
Correct.
And, to the students, each one teach one until the student becomes a teacher. That is the goal.
Correct.
That's it. That's what I'm going to say. Salute to all the fathers.
Yeah.
All the real dads. So salute to you, because it drops on there, and salute to you for sure. Because it drops then. You know what I'm saying?
And then, like I said, I love you guys so much. Like I said, you don't know how much you guys influenced me, helped raise me, and things that I didn't have, right? Like at that time, to just have a meal's perspective, and I know that kept me safe. Other people may not have been safe, but it kept me safe. He taught me how to fight, protect myself. Like you said, keep your head on the swivel, know how to not be, a mark, read the room, and all of those different survival skills that y'all had given me over the years. I appreciate it. I love y'all, and even the time that you take with my children, with my son. So, thank you so much.
Village, women and children. For a king, any king, you call yourself a king, you better be protecting and leading women and children, or stop calling yourself a king. You don't have to do that.
Correct. And for those of you who already do it, great, but let's please stop giving dad socks and ties. I mean, it's provision. They're providing a lot, and not just monetarily. And so let's celebrate the dads like we celebrate the moms on Mother's Day. Let's be kind to the men. Let's check in with them, because some of them are suffering in silence. Let's ask, are you okay? Do you need a day off? Maybe pay for the lawn care service guy in the neighborhood to come so he doesn't have to do it on his only one day off, so he can maybe just kick back, take a nap, drink a beer, whatever. Like the tires on the car, right?
Can I add one more?
Brakes, whatever. Like, I just want y'all to be good to the men that are being good to you and your children, because as we know, every man is not doing it. We definitely need to salute and celebrate those who are. It is a hard job being a man, a Black man in America.
For sure.
It's enough pressure there.
In the world. And I just want to add one other thing. As far as those that are suffering in silence, I get it. Because at the end of the day, as a man, no one wants to hear or even really give a fuck what you're going through. They just want you to get it done.
Right.
So for those that are suffering in silence, my brother, stay strong.
And find
keep
community.
Going. Find your brotherhood, but keep going and don't give up and shit. Like my brother G said, if you're a great man, when the goddamn curtain is called, they damn sure gonna say how great of a man you was. So, either way, just keep going. Don't give up. Straight up.
Well, until the next episode, the journey continues.
Peace.
All right.